Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Everyman Carpentry. I'm Tom Greenwood. Real quick, just want to say if you're getting any value out of these videos, let me know in the comments. If you want to see anything I haven't talked about, let me know. If you see an error that I'm making, let me know. I'll work on it. So that's thing one. Thing two, if you feel like that value you're getting equals dollars, go to my Patreon and throw me a cup of coffee or whatever. Any money that comes through that goes to improve the shop, better equipment, better tools, better supplies. If I outstrip Google's ad revenue, then I just turn the ads off the next month. So there's that. But yeah, let me know if you're getting any value out of this. So yeah, there's enough of my pandering. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about this joiner that I have that I'm going to be working with. I just need to do a little bit of work on some stock. So what a joiner's for is when you get a piece of wood, if you look at it, it may have it might not be straight, like it may be bowed one way or cupped one way. So you can run it through it, and it kind of takes the place of having a hand plane, using a hand plane. The other thing it's really good for that I use it for is after I run my stock through the planer, I will true up one edge so that I can then use that trued up edge when I'm cutting on my table saw to get a good, clean, straight cut. So these are really valuable time savers. They're also potentially really dangerous. This one is like a Frankenstein monster. I don't recommend getting one like this, but it's what I got. So like I say, use what you have to get to where you want to be. So as you can see, it's like got a motor that we added onto it, and it's sitting on top of the table, and it's belt fed, and it's just old and stiff, but it works and it does what I need it to do. So that's the most important thing. So on a joiner, it's got give me 1 second so I'm safe. Remember, when you're working with your tools, unplug them. Good, now I'm safe. So it's unplugged. Now what it's got is a couple of blades in here that turn. And what those blades do is they take a little piece of the wood off. Now it's got an out feed table and an in feed table. In the in feed table, it's also got a guide, or yeah, I just call it a guide, that's tiltable. So the in feed table can be raised or lowered depending on how deep of a cut I want to take. So I usually go with something very small, like a 32nd or a 16th, depending. Now this one runs at real low RPM, so I have to move the stock through it very slowly. On a new one, on a good one that's in great working order, you'll be able to zip right through it. But anyway, this thing is rotating it really fast, and it can take your fingers off if you're not careful. Like all the other tools in here, you have to be careful. It will try and eat you every single time. Okay, so I don't want to put my hand on this thing. That's what this guard is for. This one's old and stiff. I need to lube it up. But on a good one, it'll just protect the stock. You won't be able to touch this. Again, Frankenstein tools, get what you get. So what I do is I want to take an edge off of a piece of stock and make it clean. So what I'll do is I'll take something like this. And what I'm looking for, if you look down a board, you won't be able to see it too much. Maybe, I don't know, I'll try. Boom. Right, it's all rough cut on this, and it's also not perfectly straight. It's got a little hump in it. So the hump is this way. So I want to go, if the board humps up, I want to go across the bottom so I have 2 points of contact when I'm planing it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to run it through the planer until this edge is flat. Now when I run a piece of stock through the planer, what I want to do, if I'm trying to get a true edge, is I want to keep it flat against this fence here, against my guide. And I want to run it through, and I don't want my hands pushing down over the blade, because if I slip, I'm going to have problems. So I'll keep it against the fence, and I'll push it through, and I'll let it ride through. The other thing is that once I get far enough to the other side, I'll keep pressure into the fence and downward pressure onto the outfeed table, and I'll push from the back. And I don't want to push down, because what will happen is I'll get to here, and it'll cut a little bit deeper on the back side, and then my board won't be the way I want it to. It won't be real nice and straight on one side. So I have to be careful about that. That's a real common mistake. I make it all the time, but it can make problems if you don't pay attention. So pay attention. So I'll push it all the way through. When I get to the end, I just let my hand ride on this nice wide fence I have, keeping pressure on the stock all the way out, and then I'll check and see, and if everything's nice and clean, then I'll turn it off and I'll go to the next thing. So anyway, that's mostly what I use this joiner for, is to true up one edge of my stock. This thing's old, but it still functions, and it does what I need it to do. So until I outgrow it, outgrow my space, or I get a new one, I'll continue to work with it. But I'm grateful to have it, and as part of my philosophy stuff. You use the tools that you have until you can get better tools. You continue to work with them until you outgrow them, and the right thing will come along at the right time. Anyway, that's a real quick introduction to this Frankenstein joiner that I have. Take it for what it is. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk to you in the future. Bye.